Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 73 of Power Up.
73.
Oh, that was nice. I really appreciated that today.
I've been trying to switch it up.
I like it a lot.
Because in the past couple episodes, there have been people that say, Greg, like, are you just always yelling and stuff?
Nobody has said that, but I definitely think it all the time.
And I'm like,
this is your favorite superhero show, and it's our favorite superhero show to do for you. You can catch the show on youtube.com/The Level Up Network on Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So subscribe, like the videos, share them with your friends. Go to soundcloud.com/The Level Up Network for audio versions. You get those for free. And the best way to support us is by becoming a patron at patreon.com/The Level Up Network. And you get all kinds of exclusive perks and goodies for doing that.
That's what I was thinking. I have to do something for a fan of the show.
What do you have to do?
Hello.
Was that it?
Mm-hmm.
Who? All right. You know what? I don't even care. I don't want to know.
He knows.
First things first. Last week, Greg was unable to make the show, and I was planning on talking about this then. So let's talk about it now. I want to start this book club, Greg.
Okay.
Now I have two ideas.
Okay.
Do we want to do this as an issue-based thing where we find something that is currently going and we can read an issue a week and check back in here every week? Or do we want to find like a trade, like a whole, like for example, like Kingdom Come? Everybody has to read.
Is that how I'm doing like Injustice Year 1? Like with the volumes?
Yes, a trade is like the compendiums, like the compiled issues of.
Yeah, I like those better.
I like trades as well.
Then you get more meat.
Well, I wasn't sure if you wanted to do like an Injustice 2 since that's going right now, and those are, I think, weekly or maybe bi-weekly. I don't know, but you haven't finished Injustice 1 anyway.
Well, I'm waiting for them to come out.
Right? Yeah, I know.
I'm waiting. The last volume isn't out yet.
So it might be better to do a trade. We all we agree on one story.
So we pick like a volume and then we
have a month to do that.
I like that. I
feel like a month is plenty of time to get through an entire trade of something. I get through them in like 2 days personally.
Yeah, I could do that.
Okay. Cool.
Because if anything, I could read them on break from work. That's what I've been doing lately with Injustice.
So
that's how I was reading Injustice.
Why don't we do this? We'll start in the month of May, and we'll do opposite of our Netflix club. So we'll do the first show of every month. Will be our check-in for book club. We'll have finished our book by the first show of the month, and we'll discuss everything and see what everybody thought.
Are we doing it as part of Power Up?
Yeah, this is Power Up.
Okay.
Yeah, this is.
I just didn't know if it was like Power Up book club.
I mean, no, it's like a book club within Power Up. No, God, no. I'm not tacking on more content for it's. I can't. I wish I could.
That's not, I just wanted to confirm.
Yeah, no. This will be a segment in place since we don't really typically have rumors that often, and we don't really discuss TV stuff anymore.
Yeah.
We'll do intro. We'll hit the book club before the news, or maybe I don't know. Maybe we'll switch around the format. But yeah, it's going to be a segment on the show.
I like that.
Cool. So yeah, the idea is it's for you and me, and then our regular viewers.
Obviously, it's just superhero stuff.
Yeah, we'll stick to comics or of the like.
Is that everything? Like, can we read like Robert Kirkman's Injustice or Invincible?
Yes, for sure. Yeah, it's not just DC, Marvel, whatever. Yeah, we can branch out for sure.
I'm a fan of this.
So yeah,
I say we start off with Teen Titans: The Judas Contract.
Slow your roll for a second. We'll have a segment because I want you guys, the viewers, to be in on this as well. So I want everyone, I want it to be a whole community book club.
We all read together.
Yeah. Like me, Greg, all of you guys, we all, we'll discuss. And then hopefully, if you guys have read, you can leave your comments or emails and we can share those here as well and just have like a nice little.
I have a question.
What do you got?
Can we call it Comic Book Club?
Yeah, sure. That seems pretty obvious.
CBC, because it's like the CDC, except instead of like STDs, it's like fun stuff.
Right.
Well, depending on what STD you have.
So today is May 1st.
Holy fuck.
I know. Which would give us until
Wait, I'm seeing you in 12 days.
I know we're getting there, dude. Not
I'm gonna literally
next
clench
week,
my own
but the
butthole.
week after that, right?
Yeah.
Thank God, because I got to clean that room up. It's a real situation.
Thank God, because I got a koala yo ass.
So we have until, I guess, June 5th would be our first show of next month.
Oh, we're only doing it once a month?
Yeah. Yeah, well, because I don't know about you or anybody else, I don't have the money to buy
22.
I don't have the money to buy I don't always have the extra expenses to buy a new trade every single show.
We could
the idea was either we do an issue a week or we come back and we discuss a single issue, and that would be weekly. But if we're going to do the trade where it's a whole book, we would do that once a month. So those are the two options.
So by book, is that like Injustice Volume 1?
Right, it'd be a full volume of something. If you want to do a full volume of something, or like a one-off of something, like Infinity Gauntlet, Kingdom Come.
Because I feel like that's not that big.
No, it's not that big, but remember, that's probably like...
This is like 5 or 6 issues, I think.
Yeah, probably about.
Oh, it's so beautiful. Do you hear it? It's still like new enough that it doesn't...
I do. Also, Injustice is not the best example because those issues were much, much shorter than a regular comic book. A regular trade that is like...
Oh, yeah, this is my Walking Dead one.
Exactly. So a regular trade that's like 6 issues or so is pretty thick.
So it's more so like Walking Dead rather than...
It's somewhere in between those two, actually. It's not usually quite as big as The Walking Dead. It's not quite as thin as Injustice there.
Well, The Walking Dead, for price range, let us know what you guys think, because The Walking Dead, this was like 35, and you got like issues 1 through 30, and then Injustice was 20. They run about like 15.
No, they don't let us know. We make the rules for this. They don't. This is how we.
Well, I want to see what they like.
I do too, but I'm not going to wait until next episode to get the feedback.
Oh no, not that part. But I mean,
so you and I need to decide what we're going to do here. It comes down to us.
That's so much pressure.
It's not. I mean, is there a series you'd like to read? Think about that.
Well, I've read the beginning of Invincible, but that was going to be one of the first ones I suggested. You haven't read any of it, right?
No, and I'd like to. My lights just went out in this room.
What does that mean?
They just stopped working.
I can still see you.
You can still see me, but I don't know if I can get... I want to try to get them back on. Hold on.
Okay, you do that. I'm going to do something. So if you do... What if we did, like... We could do something to the effect of... I want to do something with Teen Titans, I feel. I just feel like that makes it so much simpler in life. If we were to do something with...
I didn't.
But if we did like a set that way... Hold on, I'm going to Google something.
Well, this isn't...
And then it's like Teen Titans...
Oh, shit. This isn't like...
Oh,
you know...
you weren't listening?
No, I was listening. I heard what you said. Look... Do you want to do a trade, or do you want to do a weekly series? That's it. Would you like to do this every week is the real question, or would you like to do this once a month?
I feel like I want to do it every 2 weeks.
That's not an option. It's too much. It's too much to keep track of.
You think?
Yeah, I need like rhythm in order to keep us in our schedule.
Okay. So once a month is what I would buy 5 for then.
Once a month?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I feel like we start off with... See, when I buy comics, I like to buy hardcover.
Me too.
This is where... Oh, you do?
If I buy physical versions, yeah, but I read a lot of them on my iPad as well. There's a lot of good deals.
Okay.
Why... Well, let's come back to this, because we didn't get a chance to discuss it until right this second. I just wanted to float that general idea to you out there.
That's what I was thinking. We'll have it float.
So since we have an extra week for the first show in June, because our show at the end of the month is the 29th, and that runs into the first week of June, so technically the second week of June is our first show of that month.
Okay.
So why don't we take until next week, and we'll iron out the details, and we'll come back and we'll have the book ready, and we'll tell you guys how frequently we're doing this, and we'll have it all set up. So why don't we do that?
That's what I was thinking.
And with that, why don't we begin the news?
Ba-do, ba-do, boo. Sugar gushing gashu. Ba-do, ba-do, ba-do. It's the Power Up News.
News.
Do you like that I'm throwing you off now?
A little. Sometimes I like the regular ones, but I like that you're trying, at least. I like that you have some kind of spark.
I just feel like when I yell at people, it's rude.
I feel like I've been telling you that since I've known you.
Well, you have, but I don't know. I feel like there's some things that you learn when you become a man.
We have 6 stories today, and they're all pretty good. There's a lot to talk about today, honestly.
Yeah, this was a good week, to be honest with you. No real bad news.
No, all pretty
I like
cool
that
news.
you threw in story number 3, BT Dubs. I was reading it last night, and I was like, that's exciting.
Oh, yeah. We got to talk about that.
Yeah.
Number 1.
Yes.
WB and DC have announced a new Teen Titans series is in the works and will be live action. Greg, reactions. What do you think about this? I didn't get a chance to talk to you, really.
I just started yelling at people, or just saying I was going to yell at people,
we know.
And then I yelled. But I'm excited. So originally it was supposed to be with TNT. Do you remember when we reported that?
Yes, I do, actually, now that you mention it.
And that was like a long-ass time ago. I was like, probably at the beginning of this show, I would say. It was probably like a year and a half.
No, it was into the middle. It was not as long ago as you're thinking. But I did not remember until you just said that, honestly.
Yeah, I remember that they had that in the works. And I remember they were talking about, we were like casting them or something. I just remember that vividly, and then we never heard anything from it. And then I remember, I think we started the rumor on the show, which normally it comes true, that we were saying how they could totally do a Young Justice on the CW with like all the sidekick characters that they have.
Yeah, live action, we had said.
Yeah, live action, but then
I think that discussion was how we arrived to the Steven Yeun as Dick Grayson. Because we were like, oh, it's on TNT. They could get Steven Yeun from AMC. I believe that's how that came to be.
That sounds familiar, so I'm gonna think that's also how we got there.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is super exciting. I'm fucking stoked. I love the Teen Titans. I love Young Justice. I love all things Robin.
I was very excited, but it was slightly diminished, and we'll get to that. In addition to this, they announced the third season and revival of the Young Justice animated series, and that will be called Young Justice Outsiders.
Oh, dude.
You like that title, huh?
Dude.
I
had an outer body experience.
Really? From that? I mean, it's a cool title. I didn't think it was like, wow. I'm just excited it's more Young Justice.
You know what the title refers to?
I don't. What does it refer to?
The Young Justice. This is when Young Justice falls apart, and they are looking in on the outside, from the outside on the Justice League.
What do you mean looking in on from the outside?
All of this is bullshit. I'm making it all.
You're the worst. So you don't actually. This has no relevance to you.
There's no relevance to me at all, but I'm so fucking excited because I love Young Justice.
Most surprising was the announcement of where.
Did I have you going a little bit?
Yeah. I mean, I just assume when people talk to me,
I'm trying to get you back from Moon Knight.
That they're not gonna lie to my face. Well, that's a different scenario because you said, "Oh, do you know what Outsiders represents?" And I said, "No, I have no idea." To you, I said, "Did you know Moon Knight was in this?" And you said, "Yup." That kind of makes it different, but okay.
That's a fair point.
Most surprising was the announcement of where these shows will launch, which will be exclusively on a DC digital service to come in 2018. That's where my excitement gets a little bit diminished. Now, hear me out.
I was thinking like Netflix.
Right.
Yeah.
I think this is cool that it's a platform where it's going to be all DC stuff, especially if they really like flood it with content and good content, and it's just a thing for DC fans. That said, I don't have room in my life for another streaming service. I just don't. Like all of these,
as far as like
cut
as far
cable,
as like one, you mean?
Go Netflix, Hulu. It's $10 a month. It's you save so much money at this point with all of these HBO, Hulu, Netflix. It's all adding up to be a cable bill anyway. At this point, and like this is a lot. I don't know, unless it's like $5 a month or something like that. I don't know. It seems I don't know.
That's a very fair point.
But details on the streaming service are light, but we do know the service will be operated by WB Digital Networks Group and will quote, deliver an immersive experience designed just for DC fans, which I think is cool. Again, it's great that it's
I like that idea, but like you said, like I just don't get what they're intending to do now. Like, is this going to include all of their DC stuff?
I think so.
Like, are they pulling their CW shows off Netflix and whatnot?
I don't know, but I wouldn't be surprised. Honestly, yeah. I would not be surprised. And it should be said, Jeff Johns and Greg Berlanti are among the producers on these new projects.
And you need them.
Yeah, and they are also heavily involved in the CW universe.
What's his face? Something was important about somebody who was doing Young Justice. I'm gonna Google that and I'll get back to you.
But yeah, I mean, this is a great idea. I would have been a lot more excited to get in on this maybe 2 years ago or so, when there was like 3 less streaming services that you could subscribe to. But at this point,
well, it's crazy because at the end of the day, like I use my Chromecast, so I Chromecast all the time. But I have like in my Chromecast, like a little app on my iPhone, I have like 14 streaming sites. I have AMC for The Walking Dead, I have HBO for Leftovers, etc. I have the CW for all the DC shows. I have Netflix, I have Hulu, I have
some
Amazon
of those are
Prime.
cable. Some of those are cable programs, but you guys still have cable, don't you?
No, we have it in my house, but I took it out of my bedroom.
Oh, okay.
Because I just don't use it.
And the AMC and CW apps are free for those who don't have cable?
I know like they give you a window to access the content.
CW,
I
know,
still
has
use
a free
my
app,
cable account. CW is free because I have that one on my PC too.
Okay.
AMC, you have to have an account, I'm almost positive. But they give you like, if you didn't watch The Walking Dead, like they give you like 3 days after Sunday.
Right.
I think it's until like Tuesday or Wednesday. And they're like, all right, you missed it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's a lot, man. It is. I myself
scary,
have
I feel.
Netflix, Amazon Prime, HBO.
Do you have Hulu?
I don't have Hulu because I still have a Comcast cable because our package for the home
with the security
system included it for 2 years. So we'll have that for another 2 years. I was saying to Jen, I think in 2 years I will be ready to cut it because I was looking into Hulu. And it seems pretty solid.
Hulu's the best, dude.
It seems pretty solid.
I watch it on my cell phone during my lunch breaks while I'm eating in my car.
Yeah. So I think, and honestly, lately, these last year or so, I watched an incredible amount of content on YouTube. There's a lot of like documentaries and stuff that are posted to YouTube.
Yeah.
So between like YouTube, Netflix, and Hulu, and Amazon Prime, I think definitely in 2 years I'll be ready to say goodbye to Comcast cable. Depending on what else is even available by then, who knows? Because time, just like things come out overnight. But anyway, yeah, this is a good idea. I don't think it's a bad idea. I'm just a little concerned about the pricing model and if there is room for another streaming platform in everyone's lives.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna watch it obviously because Young Justice.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out. I don't know if I'll be like subscribing all year long, but.
They haven't announced if it's going to cost anything, right?
They haven't, but you'd have to imagine it'll cost something.
I mean, if it's free, that'd be lit.
If it's free, that would be incredible. I would be really surprised, but that would be insane, yeah.
Yeah.
We will see. Stay tuned to find out more as we know more. Number 2, the deuce, as it were. It's a poop reference, Greg. It's like a deuce.
Oh, I found the thing.
For Young Justice?
Yeah, you ready?
Yeah, what do you got?
It's the synopsis for the show. It's by Akiva Goldsmith, who also helped write seasons 1 and 2, so that is exciting. I knew there was somebody else on it. And then the teenage heroes of the DC universe come of age in an animated world of superpowers, supervillains, and super secrets. In the highly anticipated new season, the team faces its greatest challenge yet as it takes on metahuman trafficking and the terrifying threat it creates for a society caught in the crossfire of a genetic arms race spanning the globe and the galaxy.
That's a lot to take in.
So I feel like it's Taken.
Yeah,
mixed
it sounds
with
like it.
The Cold War, and I like it.
That sounds really intense for a Young Justice season, but I'm into it.
That makes me happy though because Young Justice is very mature. I feel it's like a mature cartoon.
Yeah, it's definitely more mature for sure. I didn't mean to rhyme so much. I'm sorry.
It's not Teen Titans Go.
No, thankfully.
It's more mature, faux show.
I'm excited about it though. And that'll be coming in 2018.
Want them back.
It sounds like those two shows, the live-action Teen Titans and Young Justice, will be launching this service in 2018. So as that service comes out, I think those two things will be readily available. Which kind of makes me feel like they're doing Netflix dirty because Netflix brought that show back to life for them.
Yeah, I agree.
And so I'm like, damn, it's kind of fucked up. But
this is another thing they have yet to announce, is if they're going to let it source its stuff out to like a Netflix.
Yeah, they haven't, but the announcement did say exclusively available on DC's new digital service to come in 2018.
But that held out for a little bit on Hulu, and then they took it off Hulu, and now it's strictly on Netflix. They could always money speaks.
It does, but I think there is no mistake in their word to say it's exclusively airing on the DC platform. What are they? I mean, I would be really surprised if they shared it with Netflix. If they have their own WBDC streaming app, it would be kind of weird, honestly, if they did share it with Netflix. I think they should just come to Netflix and be done with it.
I agree.
Give Teen Titans to Netflix as well, and just let them do what they did with the Marvel shows.
With Daredevil, yeah. Sure.
I don't know. We'll see how it pans out.
Oh my god, live action Teen Titans, but done like Daredevil season 2, I would literally clench my own asshole.
I mean, they could do it. That's the thing. This is their own streaming service too, so they could do whatever they want. This could be really like dark. This could be R-rated stuff. They could do whatever they want.
It could be sexual.
It sure could be.
I like sexual things.
So I don't know. We'll see.
How old do you think they'll be?
I don't know. We have to move on. We're literally on the first story. So
I'm just very excited about
how old the Teen Titans will be. Teens.
Yeah. Like, do you think they're gonna be like
Teen Titans? So
I hated that.
I'm just saying. You asked. That would be my answer.
Well, I was thinking like, are we gonna have Robin or are we gonna have Nightwing?
Probably Nightwing.
You think?
No, actually, because I think
Robin because of the Nightwing movie.
Yeah, that was what I was gonna correct myself. I think you're right. Yeah.
Okay, that's it. I'm done now.
Cool. What's
story number 1?
Following a leak to the new Injustice trailer, they have been revealed. I said that's so weird, but it's all true still. A new trailer has been released highlighting the Joker's return to the series, sporting a brand new style. And we can see him in the video. Sorry, audio viewers. But he definitely looks kind of inspired by the newer Jared Leto Joker, and maybe a more modern twist.
I think he looks more like Heath Ledger's Joker.
I would agree. I would say it's a fair hybrid between the two, honestly. But a lot of his gameplay looks really similar, which I'm happy about because I really loved playing as the Joker in the first game.
Yeah, he had the best like side stuff. He had like the rolly fire signature. He had the pie to the face. He had the crowbar hit.
He's a jack of all trades. His like skill set. There's something for everything.
This game looks fucking beautiful.
Yeah, the animations that they have like really refined in this. Like he's got most of the same moves, but you can see just the way he moves and the way his gadgets kind of move are like. It's really impressive. Like he really is looking really, really good here.
Yeah, I like the.
Me too. It's looking great.
Is that a weird thing to like?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so what are we thinking about Le Joker?
I think he's gonna be awesome. I mean, I don't know if this is the regular Joker. I apologize if this is stuttering as slow for you in the recorded video as it is for me. That's never happened. I'm not really sure.
Mine looks fine.
Oh, really? It looks fine on your end?
Yeah.
Oh,
what is it, stuttering?
It's bogging down my system real hard for some reason as it plays the video back. But if it looks fine to you, that means it probably looks fine to them. So that's good. But yeah, I don't know who he is. Maybe how he is alive. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it depends, really. I feel like, so spoilers for Injustice 1, one of the Jokers is dead.
Right.
So that happened. I feel like this isn't the OG Joker, though. I feel like this is definitely either a copycat or something, but I think there's a reason for it. Like, DC doesn't just do something and not have a reason for it. Like, they're not just doing it to be like, oh, the Joker's still here. Especially because he's called Le Joker.
I don't think he is called Le Joker.
In my mind, he's called Le Joker.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't know. I do think it'll be explained one way or the other in the game.
I did get upset, though, that people compared him to Jared Leto's.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think
Don't you think it looks more like Ledger's?
I think it's an even line between what influence were drawn. I definitely can see how it was influenced by Heath Ledger's. I can definitely see some more modern influence by. I think it's mainly just the open,
like the
trench coat with the shirtless underneath that people are kind of drawing the Jared Leto version. But yeah, the hair is more Heath Ledger. And the face.
That's what I think. I think it's more crazy. Yeah, and like defined cheekbones. He kind of looks like who's the guy that plays The Green Goblin, the big face, William Dafoe.
Yeah, a little bit.
He was born to be the Joker. How has that not happened yet?
I don't know. We talked about that here a while ago. But
he's a scary looking guy.
He looks a lot younger in this game, which is my question. My biggest question is how he looks younger than previous iterations.
Do you want it to be a Joker, or do you want it to not be a Joker and be like a copycat or a clone?
If it's gonna be a copycat, I want it to be someone of some significance in the DC universe.
Like a JT?
Yeah, it's not, even if it's not, somebody like that. It needs to carry weight.
And that stands for Justin Timberlake, kids, when he took over the mantle.
I don't want it to be just somebody like random who's like, I'm the Joker now. Like, that's lame. But
I believe it was Whitney Houston who once said, "Oh, I want to dance with somebody."
Do you ever say anything real? Ever?
That was the real thing. That's a fact.
I know it's a fact, but how does it apply to this situation?
Because you said,
no, stop.
"If I wanna."
I would like to say that I think most importantly that people aren't really coming to terms with is comic books. People die and come back to life, so don't worry about it. That's just what fucking happens.
Yeah, this is like a thing.
Yeah, it's just what happens.
This series specifically is literally about a parallel universe that has totally different versions of all the characters you know.
That's the other thing. There is a Joker that's
so I feel
alive.
like figure it out.
Right, so it could be him. Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Did we ever? Yeah.
In addition to that, however,
this is more exciting.
A Dark Side gameplay trailer was revealed during a live stream promoting the game, along with a new game mode that was announced called
Tell the kids what it's called.
Mode.
I love that.
Now, before we talk about that, I want to
talk about your alliteration.
I want to look at Dark Side here. He looks really fucking cool, dude.
He looks like a Bane kind of style.
Sort of. He sort of looks like, like a more heavy character, but he also kind of looks like the way Zod played in the first game. If you had the DLC, well, you played it on PS4, so Zod came with the game, but I think it's more the way he uses his laser vision and his hands are always kind of behind his back. That was sort of the way Zod played in that game.
He looks really cool, though. I like that he has his hands crossed behind his back when he's stationary.
The laser vision that he uses is fucking insane, dude.
Yeah, it looks so cool how it zigzags its way out.
It's really cool. He looks awesome. I'm really excited to play as him, and I think he is, for now, you have to pre-order to get access to him.
Yeah, he's the thing that happens at the end of all the trailers where it's like Dark Side.
Yeah.
And it's like,
yeah, and the little helmet's like.
I like him though. I like the hands behind the back.
Me too.
Because that's very much to his demeanor as a character. He's very calm until he's not.
He looks awesome, dude. I'm really excited. He's got a little parademon that shows up for his tap circle or B move.
I just don't know. Okay, so spoilers about my life. I don't know how to make a video game, but when you how is that even possible? Just looking at what goes on in this game, I just don't get it.
This looks like it has the potential to be one of my favorite games in recent memory. It looks really fucking awesome, not just for a DC fan, but for
do you think
anyone.
You can control the laser?
As it moves? No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think it's just gonna go where it goes.
How is it different every time?
Depends on the special you use, I guess. But I don't know, man. It really does look really fantastic. I'm just excited. Ready. It's coming. We're not too far away now.
This game makes me want to touch myself.
Yeah. I think that's totally natural and normal thing to feel.
Okay. I just wanted to double check.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about Injustice 2, as weird as it is I love the little stationary poses that they do after they finish the match and you see the winner.
Yeah.
It's the little things that count for me.
Yeah. I like that as well. There's a lot of subtle touches.
Or when they walk in and he's like, Selena, I didn't expect to see you here. And she's like, oh, hey, bros.
Yeah. I do like the way they kind of acknowledge one another. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of attention to detail in this that I really appreciate. But there is also the multiverse mode, which extends single-player experience past the story mode. And this is a quote from them describing the mode, which says, players select missions that have them engage in short storylines across multiple fights, with each fight building up a character's experience and gear.
That's cool. So I'm assuming it's going to carry over and work in story mode and multiplayer modes.
Yeah, you unlock new gear.
I'm assuming it's
characters.
RPG elements-esque.
Sort of.
So if I play as Wonder Woman across anything, she'll level up for me.
Yes. That's the way I understand it. And your gear that you get, as long as you're playing in the mode that you are allowed to use gear, that is your gear to keep in any mode, I believe.
I'm thinking I'm going to play as Kara, aka Supergirl.
She looks awesome.
And I'm thinking I'm going to become Jesus with her. And I'm thinking I get her all gear to put her in like a silver Zor-El shirt. Sure. That's all I want.
Well, the gear is actually really cool looking. And when you play in multiverse mode, you fight against like alternate universe versions of those characters. And it looks cool. I like that it sounds like there's a lot of content you're getting with this game.
You know, like when you go to the Renaissance Fair and you bite into a giant turkey leg? That's the feeling I feel like I'm going to have when I get to put this game on my PS4.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair to say.
See, I told you I say things.
Sometimes you do.
Thank you.
I am very excited. We are just weeks away here. The week that you come, this will be here, and we will be playing.
I feel like you're probably going to beat me a lot.
I'm definitely going to beat you every time.
But, like, maybe I'll get some...
Yeah, maybe. I'm really fucking excited to play this game, though.
I want to become a pro with Kara, Swamp Thing, and Captain Cold.
I have no goals in mind. I'm just gonna try them all and see who sticks with me. Because I know I'm pretty good with Batman. Batman looks really similar to the way he played in the last game. Yeah. So there will be people that I'm already decent with, I think. But I'm excited to see who of the new ones really like calls out to me.
Shout out to Green Arrow too. I was always a G with him.
And I think
my
that was actually
spinning arrow. I'm like,
Green Arrow is good. He's really easy to be annoying with if you want to.
Maybe that's why I like him.
I think that was actually story 2 because they kind of broke apart somewhere here. So next one is actually story number 3, which is all about, of course, M. Night Shyamalan. Are you familiar with him?
Is that how you pronounce it?
No, Shyamalan. Don't be crazy.
Thank God.
M. Night Shyamalan has announced
my brain?
a long-awaited sequel to Unbreakable and the recently released Split for 2019, titled Glass, to release in 2019.
My name is Headling.
Spoilers for Split. Dude, that was so funny. Anytime he said etc., I was like crying laughing.
It's the best thing
ever.
The one time
he asks, I forget what he's asking. He's like, "Were you trying to trick me, etc.?" I fucking lost it. It was so funny. Shout out to James McAvoy for doing a fantastic job doing all those different personalities. He really showed off his talent in that movie, in my opinion.
Like, my favorite part is when they first meet him, and then like he knocks on the door, and he's like, "Can I come in?" And they're like, "What?" And then he literally like walks over while he's crouched down, and he's like, "I have blue thought. The beef is gonna come through. You're gonna eat all of you. I also have wet thoughts too." I'm like, what?
He was really funny.
He
did a great job in that movie. So, but spoilers for Split. Yeah, it is tied to Unbreakable. I'm sure you probably heard. That was the only reason I watched it. So I was saying last night, we talked about this. I wish they could have marketed that in some way, but they really couldn't. You know, like there was no way
to. It came out like literally the day after.
Yeah, there was no way to like market it ahead of time. Be like, hey, Unbreakable fans, you should probably go fucking see this without ruining it. But once I found out, I was like, okay, I got to see this. And I really liked it. I thought it was really good. But
I want to watch Unbreakable and then Split. That's what I want to do.
Well, you could watch. I mean, yeah, you could, but it's not like you really need to watch them in any particular order, because it's just really the one scene at the end that ties them together. Have you seen Unbreakable though?
Yes.
I like Unbreakable.
A long time ago.
Me too. Been a long time. I'd like to rewatch it, but
I'm a big fan of Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. I really like Ellie Kemper as an actress.
Please.
Oh, okay.
So M. Night took to Twitter to say he finished the new script. It's taken 17 years, but I can finally answer the number one question I get. Are you making a fucking sequel to Unbreakable or what? My new film is a sequel to Unbreakable and Split. It was always my dream to have both films collide in this third film.
Yo, 17 years.
Crazy. Played the long game on that one.
Do you think he's lying?
No.
I was talking to Becca about this because we both really enjoyed Split. And I was like, do you think he's just saying that he had this idea, but like literally
no,
the night before he
I fully believe him. He is a weird guy, and he always has like these twists planned ahead. And I completely believe that he planned it.
Also, shout out to Dean's Jabba the Hutt mug. Thanks.
Shout out to the fine people.
Can you do a Jabba the Hutt impression? You're a man of many talents, but
shout out to
your
the
impressions
people
are my favorite.
who work at the Star Wars collector's box. They sent me this for free because I always had those Marvel collector core boxes.
Yeah.
And around Christmas time, they were like, "Hey, we appreciate your business. We're gonna send you one of our other boxes."
Oh, is that when you
free.
got the cool C-3PO hat?
Yes. They sent me a Star Wars box for free. I got a bunch of really cool stuff.
I have a Darth Vader mug that's exactly like that one.
That's pretty cool.
You're pretty cool.
Thanks. I am very excited about Unbreakable though. This was the coolest fucking idea, and we were sitting there watching it. I watched it with Jen and Eric, and I was like, my dream is like for them to do a whole movie, and you're like watching some guy, and I was like, for example, take like a doctor, and this doctor is like fucked up, and people think he's like prestigious, but they're coming to his practice, and he's like testing hallucinogen drugs on him and stuff. And you find out at the end his name is Dr. Crane, and it turns out the whole time it was a movie all about Scarecrow's origins.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
And I was like, that would be so cool. And then we proceeded to watch Split, and I was like, holy shit, they just fucking did that for Unbreakable. Literally. I was like, that's so cool. Marvel and DC can really take a page out of that book, because that is awesome to have a whole movie about an origins of a villain that you don't even realize is that person.
Yeah, it's fucking so cool.
Really well done. I was really impressed. I thought that was really cool.
Incredible.
And I am excited to see Bruce Willis come back in Unbreakable and have like an adversary like the Beast. The Beast was, I wasn't sure where they were going to go with it.
Yeah.
But they went for it. Like he was climbing the wall, and I was like, "Oh shit, he really does have abilities." Like it was crazy.
When he jumps to the ceiling and he's punching out all the light bulbs as he's crawling towards her. That was one of the scariest moments of my life, I feel.
Yeah.
Just because I was picturing what I would have done if I was that girl, and I wouldn't have done what she did. But good for her.
Once the doctor was like, "Oh, like we've had people before reach like a higher mental like capacity, unlock different parts of the brain that give them abilities," and I'm like, where's he gonna go with this? Like, is this guy actually gonna have abilities, or is it? Because
you start to think like, is he like a metahuman? Like, what the fuck is happening?
And then when he's
literally like Jesus Christ.
When he's in the train, and he just like rips his shirt off, and he's just like sweating. I'm like, oh, he just thinks like he is like the Beast, but then they show him. And the veins are like bulging out, and he's like sprinting full speed on the street. I'm like, I think he actually has superpowers.
Yeah.
And then he does. And you're like, holy shit. Good movie. Really good movie.
Very good film. I love that movie.
So I'm excited for that. Number 4.
I'm excited as well for that. Incredible.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is releasing this weekend in the U.S. and the rest of the world.
Hot diggity damn doggy doogie doo.
But it has already premiered to glowing reviews from early screenings and has opened in some parts of the world to $101 million already internationally.
Wow, that's $100 more million than $1 million.
I'll tell you how much more it is. According to Disney, this is around 57% ahead of the original Guardians internationally, and 50% ahead of Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
Dean, have you read reviews?
No, I am intentionally staying away from them.
Okay.
But
don't talk about them here.
No, I'm sorry. I know it is always conflicting because we do this, and I'm like, I should know, but then as a fan, I'm like, I just want to go in and not know.
Yeah.
And this is the first I've really done really well. Like, I always say I'm not going to watch clips, and I haven't. I haven't seen a single clip. I haven't read a single review. I know that the buzz is generally positive, like really positive. I know a couple people are saying it's not quite as good as the first, but it's still really good. And then there's a whole bunch of reviews saying it's way better than the first. So that's all I know. And this is things I've heard anecdotally through the grapevine. But you have read the reviews?
I read 4.
Do you want to talk about them? And I'll take my headphones off.
No, not at all. I just wanted to see where you were at.
I'm fucking stoked.
I am Groot.
I know basically nothing, and that is the way I wanted it. And I gotta tell you, it feels pretty good, and I'm probably gonna keep this trend going forward. Like for Spider-Man, I'm just gonna not read reviews or look at clips or anything like that.
I am Groot.
Because I'm going into this like just not knowing, and it's wonderful.
I am Groot.
I hate you. I watched the first Guardians yesterday. I started watching the director's commentary. And in the beginning, I was like, I think I just want to watch this movie. And I turned off the commentary and I just watched it. And it was fucking great. What a movie.
I am I'm
Yeah,
Groot.
who didn't know you were gonna say that?
Woo!
How excited are you for Guardians?
I'm fucking stoked, dude.
Yeah,
I want to see Baby Groot tearing shit up.
me too. Maybe we'll go.
I want to see.
Maybe we'll go see it a second time together when you come.
I would like
We'll
that.
still be
Very
in the
much. I
theaters.
would like that.
So if we both
I'll
like it,
be in your residence for 5 whole days.
Yeah.
So deal with that.
so if we like it, maybe we'll go see it again.
Dean, if I like you, and I think I do, I know I want to do stuff with you.
Great, I can't wait for that.
And that goes from everything on the spectrum. That's like from a kiss on the lips
this is getting
to a film
way too
watching
adult.
experience in the cinema.
I'm excited to grow our film list together.
I think there's a Pornhub category now called Greg and Dean.
The confidence behind that statement made it everything.
I feel like it's like filters, Greg and Dean,
Sure.
sexual.
Number 5.
It's just this show. That's what they find.
A new Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite story trailer has been revealed.
Dean, are you excited for this?
I am, obviously, yeah. Revealing the plot of the game to see Ultron team up with Mega Man X villain Sigma to take down both the Marvel and Capcom universes.
You know what they say about Sigma?
Go on.
It's like he's always pairing up with Ultron.
Yeah. Oh, all the time.
I hate when they're. I went to high school with Sigma.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he used to always tell me he was a little older. Bully. Believe it or not, bully.
Right. I do believe it.
And he'd say, wait till you meet Ultron. And I would say, who's that?
Who's that?
And then when you graduate and you go to the bars, you see them together.
Yeah.
And then so you know.
And that's it. Yeah. I always say that. I always say that same story. Following the story trailer came a gameplay trailer, which I'll play for you now promptly. And
I just love that you accept me for who I am as a human.
I love who you are. There's no doubt about that.
I love who you are.
I don't know if this is going to bog down my system again, but we're going to give it a shot.
Both looked fine to me, so I don't know if that means anything.
I hope so. It immediately runs my CPU like way high all of a sudden. Whatever kind of update happened with XSplit is like crazy as shit, and it's making things pretty nuts. But here's the gameplay trailer. Hopefully you can see it. This was released showcasing the new Infinity Stone abilities, specifically the Space Stone, as well as some combat from old and new characters. 8 new characters have been announced following this trailer, with Hiryu, who is from Strider. If you've played Strider, that's a pretty fun game.
Yeah.
Chun-Li from Street Fighter, of course, and Chris Redfield from Resident Evil on the Capcom side.
Oh my god, was Strider the fucking like 2D side scroller, but it was like 3D animated?
Yeah, it was like 2.5D. Well, it was an old game, and then they remade it into a newer one. Yeah, it was available with PS Plus, I think.
I enjoyed that game.
It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then on the Marvel side, they announced Hulk, Thor, Hawkeye, and Rocket Raccoon, as well as Ultron. So a little, definitely heavy on the Marvel stuff. Seems like they're, really leaning into the Marvel world this time around.
Especially with Rocket Raccoon.
Especially with Rocket Raccoon. Yeah.
I like a good raccoon.
With Ryu, Morrigan, Mega Man X, Captain America, Iron Man, and Captain Marvel already announced, that brings the playable roster to 14 so far.
I like that Chris Redfield's in here. We're definitely going to see Jill one time.
Hawkeye looks really cool in this iteration. He was in the last one as DLC, but he looks really cool in this.
I'm ready for Jill.
Yeah. Everyone can't wait to play as Jill Valentine, Marvel vs. Capcom.
Why do you say like that?
Because nobody gives a fuck about playing as Jill. Nobody. The Season Pass will get you 6 new characters post-launch, of which Sigma, Greg's best friend, is one.
Not best friend, he was a bully, high school bully.
Right. But you know him so well, so it's like your best. It's like your frenemies, kind of.
Yeah, that's a good way. He's the Regina George in my life.
Yeah. I am very excited. I can't wait to play this game. It has a release date, which we will get to. But before we get to that, I want to talk about this collector's edition they announced for $200, which will get you 4 interlinking statues of Iron Man, Mega Man X, Captain Marvel, and Chun-Li. Yeah. All of them look really cool.
Yeah.
A box displaying 6 LED lit Infinity Stones.
Yeah, that's really cool.
And the deluxe edition of the game, which looks like it has a steelbook, but I can't really tell.
I think that's what the little thing is in the back left.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well. Which I assume will also include the Season Pass, which is neato as well.
I really like the Iron Man.
Me too. I love the Marvel statues, and I love the Mega Man statue. I don't really care about Street Fighter, so That's not for
me. That's how I feel.
I'll tell you what I care about the most is the box of glowing Infinity Stones. I want that so fucking bad. I can't even tell you how bad.
I just don't know how big they are.
I don't know, but I want them.
Part of me wants to hope and dream that they glow up like Jesus, and then that other part of me wants to glow up like the Batman Arkham Knight statue, which I don't know how I feel about that. You know what I mean?
I just want the Infinity Stones. The statues are great. I would love to have Captain Marvel and Iron Man, but I want the Infinity Stones real bad.
You get any like separately, right?
No, it's just one thing.
The one set.
And so far, this is only listed on GameStop, so I don't know if it's going to be available elsewhere. But right now, you can pre-order it on GameStop, the collector's edition. Anyway, the game is available elsewhere.
200 isn't bad for all of that. I just feel like the statues are going to be small then.
I don't know. Maybe it will. Maybe it won't. They might be a little bit small. Yeah.
And what are they made of? So many questions.
Right. 200 seems like not a bad price because you get all this, but yeah, I think when it comes to size and material, I think that is maybe a little steep. But maybe the statues are a decent size, you know?
That would be cool. I need to see it.
See like them in
like I need somebody to be like, "Oh my god, we got to check out the Infinity Stone Collector's Edition," and then they like show it off, and I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, that would be cool if we could
you know
actually
what I mean?
see what it's like. But
yeah, and like, how do they glow? Like, can you take the stones out of the box?
I don't think so. I wouldn't imagine so.
Does that mean you can run around your backyard and play superheroes?
They're probably attached to the box, and there's probably LED lights feeding through the bottom.
Do you think if we were friends when we were younger, we would have played superheroes?
100%. I played that shit all the time.
Yeah, me too.
A deluxe edition of the game will also be available for $90. That will get you the season pass. I don't think it includes the special packaging, but I'm not sure. And then, of course, the standard edition for $60, all of which release this September 19th.
That's pretty soon.
It's a good amount of time, dude, because we have Injustice that'll take us from May through the summer. This is a good fighting game for everyone to chomp their teeth on. And then come fall, we get Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite.
The word chomp is nice. Was that your chomp?
Yeah, that was my chomp. I'm excited. Can't wait.
I want them to add Baby Groot.
Who doesn't?
That's a fair point. I feel like everything needs Baby Groot.
Yeah, I would agree.
Do you think by the time the new, like when Avengers happens, do you think he's old? Like, do you think he's old by the end of Guardians 2?
I don't know.
I've been trying to think about this
I thought
for a
about
while,
that yesterday.
and I just don't know.
While I was watching it, and I don't really know.
Because he's like 90 in the first Guardians.
I don't think he is, but he's definitely big.
Yeah.
And in the first Guardians, when his arms get chopped off by Gamora when they first meet, and Rocket says, like, they'll grow back fast, you idiot. So it seems like he does, like, grow fast.
Like, I think he grows exponentially compared to, like, he was a potted plant, and now he's like a little walking guy now.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. Maybe by the very end, maybe the post-credit sequence will be like teenage Groot. You know?
And he has like a pimple.
That would be funny. Maybe. I think you'll see him age in some capacity by the end.
Who's your favorite Guardian? Is that too loaded of a question?
Yeah, it's heavy. My mind immediately goes to Rocket. I like Rocket a lot.
Okay.
I like where he came from. I like that he's so funny and kind of sarcastic, and then he also has like a really emotional side to him because of his origins. When I was watching yesterday, and he gets like so upset when they're all drinking on Nowhere, and they call him Rodent and blah blah, and he's like crying because he's drunk and he's holding the gun, and he's like, she called me Rodent, he called me Vermin, and he's like, his tears in his eyes. I'm like, there's actually a lot of depth to Rocket.
Yeah,
he's cool. I like him a lot. My gut reaction would be Rocket.
Okay.
What about you?
I feel like mine's obvious.
Groot.
Yeah.
I mean, they're definitely a close pair.
Like us.
That's true.
Who's who?
You are Groot.
I am Groot.
Yeah. I feel like there's no question about it. I'm definitely Rocket. I'm kind of.
You're like, Greg, get it the fuck together.
Right.
I'm like, I am
Greg.
That's
100% our relationship. Number 6.
I think that's all you hear out of me. Like in Dean's head, all he hears is, I'm Greg. I'm Greg.
More or less. Number 6, that will take us to our topic of the week. The Avengers 4 title was supposedly revealed when Zoe Saldana was asked about Guardians joining the Avengers for the first time. She said,
"Do you think she got beat for this?"
I don't know. She said, I think that the Guardians just shot their part when it comes to Infinity War, the first part. We all have to go back for Gauntlet later this year. So,
Zoe, what'd you do,
naturally,
Zoe?
the internet freaked the fuck out. They were like, it's got Infinity Gauntlet, blah. Is it? I don't know. Here's the thing.
Okay. Well, I read somewhere that the Gauntlet was the first one, and the Infinity part was the second part.
In
of the
comics, yes.
Yeah.
Infinity Gauntlet came out back in the day. I want to say, I'm going to look it up. It came out a long time ago, and they've reissued it since. And then Infinity War is recent, like really recent. So it wouldn't necessarily make sense if that was the case, unless they shot them out of order, and that's been the big secret all this time.
In the Infinity stuff, is it all of the Avengers?
It's like everyone in the MCU.
Wow.
Like everyone. Yeah.
Wow.
Infinity Gauntlets is a 6-issue comic book limited series published by Marvel Comics from July to December in 1991.
Wow.
Yeah. Infinity War is like really recent. I think that came out with the Marvel Now stuff. But I'm going to double check on that.
Sometimes I think like the Guardians have the biggest connection to Thanos. Like I feel like if it wasn't
I'm
for
sorry.
them...
Didn't mean to cut you off. I'm thinking of Infinity, which came out with the Marvel Now stuff. Infinity War was a follow-up that came out in 92.
Is Moon Knight in any of these?
I don't know. Honestly, I've been very candid about that here. I have Infinity War. I've never read it front to back. I've read it in fragments and not even close to the whole thing. So I have that, and I'm going to read it actually soon. I plan to. But yeah, I don't know.
Maybe we start that as our book club.
That would be cool because I'm going to read it anyway. So
you're pretty cool.
We'll talk about it. But now here's the thing. Yeah, it came out Infinity Gauntlet and then Infinity War. So it is possible that maybe they shot these in that sequence and they didn't announce it. They announced it backwards. Maybe that's been the big secret all this time, is that actually Infinity Gauntlet will launch first. Or it's all wrong. Because Kevin Feige said the title is a big spoiler. Infinity Gauntlet being the title of the Avengers 4 would not be a spoiler. That's kind of expected.
I feel like this is kind of how... Do you know how like... with like new stuff, like they codename them,
right? Yeah, there's
like
working
how
titles.
Xbox was titled like Project Natal.
Yeah.
Do you remember like all that shit? Like that's
Kinect
what I feel like.
I think it was the Kinect, but that was Natal.
Correct. Yeah. So I feel like that's what this whole situation is. I just feel bad for Zoe Saldana because she doesn't fucking know.
She has no idea. And James Gunn, since then, has come out to say that. He said during an interview that Infinity Gauntlet is in fact not the title and that Zoe probably just misspoke.
Somewhere in the United States, Zoe Saldana's Achilles tendons are being sliced.
Here's a couple of anecdotes I've put together about this since.
Okay.
So, yes, my first was...
Wait, what's an anecdote?
Anecdote is just like a, just so you know, piece of information.
Like a thought?
Yeah. It's just, it's just...
I've used the word, but I've never known what it does.
Anecdote is like, oh, you interject with something just like, oh, anecdotally. It's just like, it's just extra information. It's like
use it as a verb.
A short story. It's not a verb. It's a noun. Cause it's,
I like when you talk big words to me. I think that's our sex talk.
It's a thing. You know what I mean? An anecdote would be a thing.
I'm anecdotally saying, "Hey, Dean."
Yeah, that works in that regard. No, well, hey, Dean wouldn't. You could be like, anecdotally, I found a green pair of socks on my way home, and then get back to the story you were telling about your walk home.
Did you pick green because it's my favorite color?
Maybe subconsciously. Wow. Anywho.
Okay.
I think yes, Gauntlet could be just a working title, probably a likely scenario. Yeah. I think B.
Well, they have to call it something, right? Like as they're filming and like owning a script,
right?
Like doesn't it have to be named something? Yeah.
Yeah, it could be named something else just for that. But Feige said this is going to be a big spoiler, whatever the title is, and I don't think they've even told them.
He's never lied to us before.
I don't even think they've told the actors what it's called, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, if anything, they told them code names, and they're like, guys are just gonna. The story's called Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
So we're calling this one Infinity and Gauntlet for the time being. Zoe Saldana don't say anything, and then she was like, fuck.
But here's the detail that kind of breaks this all apart: is that she specifically said, Guardians just shot their part when it comes to Infinity War, the first part. And then we all have to go back for Gauntlet later this year.
What?
So, how exactly, to James Gunn's point, would she be misspeaking? She specifically knew that she was talking about Infinity War that they had finished, and she specifically is aware of Infinity Gauntlet. So, in some capacity, that title is being thrown around on the set. Whether it's the title of the movie or not, I don't know. But I think James Gunn trying to put out the fire and say she probably just misspoke is bullshit in some regard.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That said, I don't think it's the title. I think they're going to have a different title. And whatever the title is, I think they're going to wait until this first Avengers movie not only is out in theaters, but out on DVD, because I think it is going to be a massive spoiler. And I think it's going to be something like Death of Captain America or New Avengers. It's going to be something that's going to be setting up this next part of the universe. You know what I mean?
That'd be crazy if it was called Avengers: The Death of the Cap.
Death of Captain America would be like world-shattering news that day.
I would be sad.
Just because you know what you're walking into, like, oh,
yeah,
this is gonna happen.
I don't want it to be named something like that. That's fucked.
But I think that's the reason of all the secrecy. I think that's why. So this is our topic of the week, by the way. It's just what the fuck will it be Avengers for? But I think that's why. I think it's going to be something. They've mentioned that the next, phase is not necessarily going to be a phase. It might be something totally different, something totally new. Yeah. They're getting ready to shake up this universe. And I think that last Avengers in this current universe is going to be whatever sets that off in motion, and I think it's going to be something like that really gives away, like, oh, this is what's happening.
I'm excited, but I'm nervous.
I'm very nervous. I'm with you.
Like, I feel like I'm getting agita.
A little bit, yeah.
And it's not like the good kind of agita where, like, you go and, like, you drive your car over, like, a little bump and you're like, ooh, it tingled my testicles a little bit. Mm-hmm. Like, this is the kind of agita that, like, I feel like I might cry.
It's a little sad.
But then again, I did this for Civil War, and then I didn't cry in Civil War.
Yeah, but this is, I think, a different scenario. Contracts are up. They're getting ready to move this forward. There will be a new team of Avengers. Whether they choose to kill them, whether they choose to retire them, I don't know. But you will... This Avengers, not Infinity War maybe, but the fourth will be the last time you see some of these people, I think.
For real?
I think so, yeah. In some regard.
Wow.
Don't you think?
I don't know.
What do you think?
I don't know.
So what do you think about the title? Do you have any...
I'm so stressed out about this.
Don't be.
Because, like, I feel like it's, in some regard, they're toying with us. Like, I totally agree that James Gunn is all bullshit, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the titles are going to be because I really am scared as to what these films are going to be. Mm-hmm. Like, they have the potential to emotionally devastate me as a human being. Mm-hmm. Like, now these characters are just who they are. Like, in the same regard that, like, Logan fucking wrecked me when, spoilers for Logan, but, like, knowing that was Hugh Jackman's last time in that role, like, holding that title, that was so depressing. Like, I didn't realize how sad it was going to be when I was watching it.
I agree. I'm with you, actually. Yeah, I did not realize how sad I was going to be by the end of that movie.
Like, I thought...
Not because of the plot, just because of the idea...
Like, that it was detaching, you know what I mean? Like they weren't tethered to one another anymore. Especially with, like, the scene with Charles in the film. Still spoilers for Logan. Like, that scene and then the one with Laura at the end. Like, or the two... I was like, why am I crying? Like, to a universe of characters that I fucking enjoyed 2 of the movies very well, and then, like, the rest of them are, like, mediocre.
Right.
And I'm like... I'm so sad that this is ending in some capacity. So now take a universe that I love with almost every film of this universe I adore. Like, that's fucked up.
Yeah, that'll be rough. I'm with you. I think it's going to be rough. They've been a big part of everyone's lives since 2008 now. It is 2017.
I'm getting emotional.
By the time Avengers Infinity War comes out, it will be 2018. By the time the fourth Avengers comes out, it'll be 2019. So, yeah, they've been in our lives for
a decade.
Over a decade. It's like, it's pretty. I mean, they've been in some of our lives forever. They've been in my life forever. But these movies, these actors and actresses,
like the characters, when you put a live action actor to something, it fucks you up.
Yeah, this cast of characters will have been in our lives for a long time. I mean, we're talking like from when I was 17 to when I will be, what, 30?
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, like that's nuts. That's
wait. How old were you when the first one came out?
We're
talking like Iron Man, right?
17 or 18. Yeah, Iron Man 1. Iron Man 1 came out in 2008. I graduated to high school. It all depends on when Iron Man 1 came out. I graduated high school in 2007. I graduated when I was young.
Weird.
So I was 17 when I graduated, whereas most of the people in my grade were 18. Because I was a boy genius.
Really?
Not really. No. Sort of.
Demarcation.
No, I was
Did you get what that was from?
No. Jimmy Neutron?
It's Jimmy Neutron. Thank you. Oh my god, I love you so
much. No, when I was young, when I was really young, I was moved forward because I was a little bit ahead of like the kids that I was going to school with, so they pushed me up a grade.
Every episode of the show I learn a new fact.
So I wasn't a boy genius.
Every time I always think to myself how much I adore you as a human.
I love you. So this came out.
You're my real life Avenger, I think.
That's the nicest thing anyone's ever said to me, hands down.
Yeah, that's how I feel about
Ben
you.
said I love you a couple times, but this beats that. This came out in May of 2008. So I will have been out of school for a year. So I was 18.
Wow. Wait, so I was like 14 or 15.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know.
So Iron Man 1 came out in 2008 and I was 18. And I am 27 now. I'll be 28 this fall. So
by the time you met the Avengers, you had already had sex. By the time I met the Avengers, I was a virgin.
2018, I will be
weird.
29, and then by Avengers 4, I'll be 30 years old. Wow. And so this has been around from the ages of 18 to 30 years old. We've had this universe going, and that'll probably be the end of it as we know it. It'll be around. It'll be just much different. So here's my predictions.
I'm scared.
I think
for so many things that you just said.
I think
what are we doing for your 30th birthday? Like, I just have so many questions now.
Well, we're going to see Avengers 4, depending on when it's out.
But
I think the first movie is gonna be Thanos. Wherever the Avengers are, we're gonna see them fight. I think that movie's gonna be all about him.
He's gonna say, "Here I come."
I think it's gonna be him getting the stones. Finally, we're gonna see him
he gets all 5.
He's gonna be a big. I think he's gonna be a big part of that movie. I think he's gonna be getting all the stones from all the. I mean, he's gonna have to face them. Think about it, because Doctor Strange
Vision is a stone.
Has one. Vision is one, so he's gonna have to interact with them in some way. So I think in the first movie, whatever it is...
He has 3?
Huh?
He has 3 stones? He has the one that was initially in the gauntlet. Then he had the one from the collector guy, right?
He doesn't have any yet.
Oh.
No, the Tesseract had the one. And the Tesseract is in Asgard. Last we saw it.
Oh, well, Ragnarok.
At the end of Avengers. Yeah, Ragnarok. Something's going to happen there. Yeah. The Space Stone was, I believe, in Guardians, and that is with the Nova Corps. They deliver that to Nova Prime at the end.
Okay.
Is it the Mind Stone or the Soul Gem? Whatever. The ones with Vision. And
Doctor Strange wears his.
Doctor Strange has the Time Stone.
That's my favorite one so far.
Let's see. I have the map here. Okay, the Power Stone was Guardians of the Galaxy. That is in the Nova Corps vault right now.
Okay.
Doctor Strange has the Time Stone in the Eye of Agamotto.
Okay.
The Aether from Thor: The Dark World. Thank you. The Aether from Thor: The Dark World is the Reality Stone, and that is in the Collector's Museum that we saw them.
At the
Sif
end of the
and what's his name? They deliver it to him.
Yeah, they were like, "Hi."
The Chitauri Scepter was the Mind Stone. That
was Loki's staff.
That came from Loki's staff. That is now in Vision's head.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
And then the Space Stone was the Tesseract. That is on Asgard with Heimdall.
Isn't there 6 stones?
Yes, there's a Soul Stone that we have not
seen. So isn't
yet.
that the one that Thanos has on the gauntlet?
He doesn't have one in the gauntlet yet. Not when we've seen him. When we saw him, he was just putting on the gauntlet and it was empty so far. The Soul Stone we have not seen yet at all. I would imagine it shows up probably either in Guardians 2
I think.
or Thor: The Dark World.
Because Thor Ragnarok, I feel like we'll see
Thor
where...
Ragnarok.
I think that one we'll see the whatever stone was in fucking... What's it called? The one you just said.
I think you have a better shot at seeing it in Thor Ragnarok than you do in Guardians.
Just because Guardians set one up already.
Yes. But the villain in Thor Ragnarok
is Hela.
Right, but we're also thinking that she might
She's
be Lady Death, in which case it would make a lot of sense for her to have the Soul Stone if she's taking people's souls as Death. You know what I mean?
I'm very excited for Thor Ragnarok. I want to go watch that trailer now.
Me too. So I think the first movie is going to be him getting all of the stones. I think by the end of the movie, he will get the 6th stone and the Avengers will be defeated. And I think
kills how many of them?
In the first movie, I don't know. I think the second Avengers movie is going to be them rallying, getting everybody together, and it's like, we have to fucking stop this guy. Spider-Man's in both parts, confirmed.
Captain Marvel comes.
Yes, she will be in the second part for sure.
Guardians are like, hey.
So I think the second movie will be like, hey, maybe I would love nothing more if Cap and Tony and the Avengers are still split up in this whole first movie, and there's 2 separate teams of Avengers like working independently because they're still like at odds. I would love that, and then not until the second Avengers movie do they finally reunite and everybody comes together and like, we gotta fucking stop this guy.
I want that panorama shot.
At which point, at the end, I think a lot of this team dies or goes into hiding, and then a new Avengers team is formed.
Hashtag Captain Marvel.
Yes. Those are my predictions. What have you got? What do you think?
I think 3 people die in the first film. I think
who?
like
do you know,
one.
Do you have an idea who?
Yeah. I think Thor's going bye-bye.
Wow.
I think Black Widow's going bye-bye. And I think like a lesser character like Nick Fury or like Maria Hill. Like something like to start off the film.
You think they'll kill 3 of their main characters in the first part?
Well, Nick Fury and Maria Hill aren't really main characters.
Nick Fury is a pretty big role, man.
Yeah, I see him dying. I feel like they need to set the stage for Thanos in the beginning of the first part.
In Winter Soldier, I was totally convinced that he was dead.
Is it? No, he's still kicking.
Yeah, he came back in Age of Ultron. I believed it when they had him like assassinated in Winter Soldier though. And
when they do like the fake out.
Yeah, I was like, he's not dead. And then it wasn't until like the movie kept going.
Yeah, it's fucked up what they do.
And I was like, holy shit! Yeah. I think they actually killed him off.
Because they do it, and you're like, wait, you don't know. You have to question yourself.
Yeah.
He's in Age of Ultron, though, no?
He is. He shows up at the farm.
Yeah, when they're at the house with the wife, Hawkeye's wife. I'm like, wait, I remember him being in that. So I think they kill him because I feel like, Tony fills that role in the new Avengers films. I think they kill either Cap or Thor as their like end movie
in Avengers 4.
First part, first part. And
you think in the first part, Cap's not going to die in the first part? How can you move forward? How can you do?
They could do whatever they want.
Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor I think need to live into at least the beginning to like big fight of the second Avengers movie. If you're gonna finish off the whole universe, and Avengers 4 is like that's the end of like this Marvel universe as we know it, you have to have those three there. You could kill them by the end of it to move it forward. I just think it would be so weird to go into an Avengers movie that's finishing this whole
I just see,
like saga.
I'm thinking in my head like all the mantles. Like I'm seeing, because Marvel's more, whereas DC's like, oh, Batman, Robin, and then Robin becomes Nightwing, not Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Like Marvel's very much like, all right, Bucky's the new Cap.
Right.
So like Captain America never goes away. So that's what I'm thinking in my head.
Yeah, but Steve
I'm thinking
Rogers
like Tony takes over like Nick Fury's role, because I think he'd still always want to be invested in this universe somehow. So I think that'd be a nice way to include him, like a Stan Lee cameo in each film. Because I don't think Iron Man's going anywhere. I think he would play Tony Stark until the day he died. I don't think he cares. He's making money off it.
I think Iron Man's going somewhere.
You think he's dying?
Yep.
I don't think they're gonna redo Iron Man. I think
I don't
be
either.
a disservice to his character.
I don't either. I'm not saying I do, but I think when he goes, he's just gonna be gone for a while.
Well, I think like Bucky would like. I like the guy who plays Bucky, so like I could deal with him becoming Cap, and then I think if they set up a Lady Thor and they make it Sif, or now we're getting Valkyrie, like I would love that.
Me too.
Like
I'm with
seeing
you.
that as a thing, and I'm like, that's really cool. I mean, we have yet to meet Valkyrie, but like
I'm not
she
against
looks
the
fucking
idea of them like passing the mantle for these new Avengers. I'm down with that 100%.
That's what I think is the end of the part 2. Is the mantles being passed down. Like that's after Thanos is defeated.
Yeah.
They look at like the remnants of like Cap's broken shield of vibranium.
Yeah.
Like Iron Man's suit is fucking in shambles. Maybe he has an eye patch. I don't know.
I think you're right about them passing the mantle by the end of the film. I think Cap, Iron Man, and Thor will be around for the big battle, and they may go after that.
I think someone big dies at the end of part 1. Big.
Yeah, maybe.
Like I think the movie starts off, and I think Nick Fury calls everyone and is like, "Fucking fuck."
You think
like,
Vision is going to be safe throughout all of this?
No, he's fucked.
You didn't bring him up at all.
Well, he's coming back. He's going to be part of the new Avengers, but I feel like there's going to be a moment where like his stone is taken out and he dies, and there's going to be that scene with Scarlet Witch where she's like, "Oh my god, I was sucking his penis," and then like they end up realizing like true love conquers all, and that's how he comes back, or some crazy shit. Like that's going to be the love story I feel in both films.
Yeah, probably.
Because you know Marvel always does a love story. But yeah, I think one of the original out of the Avengers has to die by the end of part 1.
I think
because otherwise Thanos is going to be like every other fucking villain that they make into this joke.
Right. Like
Ultron comes and is like, I'm going to destroy the world. And yeah, like he did some crazy shit, but like he killed Quicksilver.
Yeah,
like,
I don't think Marvel's going to make that mistake. I think they're very aware how people felt about that. And this entire thing has been built around the idea of Thanos, being like the end game. I think he's gonna.
That's my point.
I think he's really gonna pack some weight. But now, I don't necessarily like the idea of everything always hinging on Iron Man, but I do like the fact that he started all of this, and there is a time where Iron Man wears the Infinity Gauntlet for a brief amount of time, and I just think it would be so cool.
As a service to RDJ.
If he's gonna go out, he's like, I have to do this, and he puts on the fucking gauntlet and goes for Thanos, and that's how he dies. Is by taking out Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet on. I think that would be really impactful, and if they really kill him, like no fucking around, and make that a big moment, and like have the right music and everything, that could be one of the best scenes in like superhero movie history.
I would agree with that,
but we will.
I don't think they're gonna kill RDJ though.
I don't know, man. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm not claiming to know. I really don't know. I have no idea.
See, I'm like getting emotional now.
But it's a lot. It's a lot
to take in. See, I don't want to deal with that.
It's a lot to take in. I'm really excited.
If I was upset about... This is my point to you.
Go ahead.
If I was this upset about Hugh Jackman and like I wasn't attached to the X-Men movie franchise at all, like I just don't understand.
Yeah, that's the great part
how
of it,
I'm gonna handle the MCU. Like, that's fun.
That's the great part of it. This is the
That's
potential
fun.
to actually like really evoke emotion from the audience and make them feel something for these.
Well, I cried at
characters.
Groot and Guardians. Never forget.
Oh, that was sad. That was sad.
That was fucked up.
But that'll do it for us. Let us know in the comments what you guys think is going to happen in Avengers 4 or even Infinity War.
Will I cry?
Let us know in the comments below what you thought of it. Do we have any questions this week? Do you know?
I don't know if you answered the one last week.
I did.
That's what I figured.
Do you have an answer you would like to submit?
No.
Okay, that's fine.
I feel like that was a question more so made for you.
I'm not going to argue you, but...
Okay, and that's all I got.
Okay, then that does it for us, guys. We will be back next week with episode 74 and all the rules in motion for the book club. Not rules, guidelines, I guess.
We'll iron out the details.
Yeah, we will. Big credits to Superhero Hype and ComingSoon.net for all of the news. That's where we get our news. Go and check them out. Show them some love. It's a wonderful place. Send us questions at powerup@thelevelupnetwork.com. We'll answer them on the show.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share them with your friends, become a patron at patreon.com/thelevelupnetwork. And as always, you can get audio versions of this show on soundcloud.com/thelevelupnetwork. Thank you guys so much for watching. This has been episode 73. We will see you next week. Power
I am Greg.